Hi my dear friends, good morning to all of you. And today we shall continue with another type of soil. The previous day we learned about alluvial soil, the most important soil, especially for farming. And today we shall deal with alluvial soil is over. Now black soil. We shall deal with black soil. From the name itself we can understand the soil will be black in color. That's why it's known as black soil. So you can take your textbook page number 8. So these soils are black in color and also known as ragoor soils. Another name for this black soil is ragoor. Ragoor soil. So remember what is ragoor soil. If they ask the question, should not get confused. It is same as black soil. And black soil is ideal for growing cotton and is known as black cotton soil. So this is known for cultivation of cotton, and because of that it has got another name, that is black cotton soil. So this is black in color and it has got one more name, that is ragoor soil, and this black soil is very suitable for growing cotton, and because of that it is known as black cotton soil. So sometimes the question may ask, why this black soil is known as black cotton soil? So you will have to reply that it is very ideal for growing cotton. That's why it is named black cotton soil. It is believed that climatic conditions along with parental rock material are the important factors for the formation of black soil. So, how this black soil is formed? What are the factors responsible for the formation of black soil? Two things you can underline. First is climatic conditions, because of the climate, and second one is parent rock material. So the rock that is underneath at the bottom of the earth, the parent rock, that may be black in color. That is why, because ultimately soil is formed by breaking off the parental rock due to weather and so on. So this parent rock may be in black in color, so the soil that is formed from the parental rock, that also becomes black in color. So as the father, so the son, we used to say. Same way, as the parental rock, same as the soil will become. Then natural conditions, climatic conditions, maybe high temperature or too cold, low temperature or rain. All these things are also affecting the formation of this black cotton soil. Then this type of soil is typical of the Deccan Tract. So this black soil is very typical in Deccan. So we find them in Deccan Tract, the area called Deccan Tract. We studied already about Deccan Plateau. So in the Deccan Plateau where this black soil is found, that area is known as Deccan Tract. So this black soil is mostly found in the area called Deccan Tract. And it is spread over northwest Deccan Plateau. The northwestern part of this Deccan Plateau, we find this place called Deccan Tract, where this black soil is formed, and is made up of lava flows. So this Deccan Tract, that area, the black soil is formed out of lava, the lava that is coming out of volcano. that is black in color, and that is igneous rocks, and they slowly get powdered and become black soil. And the cover of the plateaus of Maharashtra, Saurashtra and Malwa, Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh, and extend in the southeast direction along the Godavari and Krishna valleys. So this Deccan Tract, where we find this black soil, that is extending to so many states. It is found in Maharashtra, then Saurashtra, Malwa Plate, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, and extend in the southeast direction of Kaveri and Krishna valleys. So these are the places where we find this black soil. The black soils are made up of extremely fine, that is clay material. So this black soil, it is formed after breaking of the lava, and then it is made up of extremely fine clay material, very smooth, very powdery type. And they are well known for their capacity to hold moisture. Since this soil is very powdery type, it has got the extra efficiency, extra capacity for holding on the water. If you pour water or if you irrigate, that soil will remain wet for many days. It will not become dry very fast, but it will remain wet. That is the importance, that is the advantage of this black soil. It has got the capacity to hold water, moisture for many days. Then in addition, they are rich in soil nutrients. And so another important thing about this black soil is they are very rich in different nutrients that are found in the soil, that are required in the soil. So what are the nutrients that we find in the black soil? They are calcium carbonate, one nutrient that is required for the soil is calcium carbonate. Another one is magnesium, another one is potash and lime. So these are the 4 nutrients that are found in this black soil. So the soil is very rich. These soils are generally poor in phosphoric contents. So another nutrient that is not found in this black soil is phosphoric contents. So phosphoric contents are not there in this black soil. Then they develop deep cracks during hot weather. So when this hot weather comes or summer comes, what happens to this black soil is there used to be very deep cracks will be there. If you look into the paddy field which is dry, you can see in the month of March, April, and so a lot of cracks are there in the paddy field. So that is because of the dry season. So this black soil also is same. It is creating a very deep crack. So there is advantage as well as disadvantage. So advantage is that it is helping to proper aeration of the soil. So through this hole, through these cracks, the air will enter deep into the earth, deep into the soil. So the soil will be filled with these components of the air, nitrogen, oxygen and so on. So that way it is helping the soil. Through these deep cracks, the air is entering into the soil. But the disadvantage is that through these small cracks, the water evaporation is taking place. The water that is there under the earth or under the soil, that gets slowly evaporated because of these cracks. So another advantage is it is getting the air into the soil. These soils are sticky when wet and difficult to work on unless till immediately after the first shower during the pre-monsoon period. So another problem that the farmers are facing with this black soil is the soil becomes very sticky after the rain. The soil is wet. We already said this soil has got the capacity to hold water, hold moisture. Therefore, after the rain, the water will be very sticky and the farmers will find it difficult to work. Their leg will be full of soil, full of mud. It will not come out, it will stick to the leg. And so farmers will find difficult to work in this black soil. So what the farmers do is, after the first rain, before too much water comes and the mud becomes very slushy, the farmers start plowing the field soon after the first rain. So it will not be very wet before too much rain comes. With the first rain itself, the farmers will start plowing. That is how the farmers are making themselves, adjusting themselves with the problem of stickiness of this black soil. So I hope you understood. So once again we shall say black soil. Another name for black soil is Rugu soil, and it is found in the area called Deccan Tract, and it is extending into many states. Which are the states? It is extending to Maharashtra, Saurashtra, Malwa, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, and even reaching up to Godavari and Krishna valleys. And we said this is very suitable for cotton plantation, and therefore it has got the name black cotton soil. And we said this soil is formed out of lava, the lava that comes out from this volcano, and that gets slowly powdered, and thus this black soil is formed. And we said this one of the capacity or special feature of this black soil is it has got the capacity to hold moisture. It can hold water. And so what happens when it is raining? The mud becomes very slushy, and the farmers will find difficult to work on that. And when it is dry, we find deep cracks are there. And in a way it is helping the soil to get aeration. The air will enter through these cracks and get the elements of air into the soil, that is hydrogen and oxygen. And we find that because of his stickiness, what the farmers do is soon after the first shower, first rain, they start plowing. Otherwise they will find difficult to work in the field because of the sticky nature of this soil. Now let's come to another type of soil. So black soil is over. Now let us study about red and yellow soils. Red and yellow. Red and yellow soils. So red soils develop on crystalline igneous rocks in areas of low rainfall in the eastern and southern parts of the Deccan Plateau. So this also is found in the Deccan Plateau, especially in the eastern part and the southern part where the rain is less. So such kind of places the soil is red, where there is less rain, and that is found in the east and south of Deccan Plateau. Yellow and red soils are also found in parts of Odisha, Chhattisgarh, the southern parts of the middle Ganga plain, and along the Piedmont zone of the western Ghats. So where do we find this red and yellow soil? We find them in the states of Odisha, Chhattisgarh, and southern parts of the middle Ganga plain, and along the Piedmont zone of western Ghats. Piedmont means the foothills at the bottom or at the ground or the plain level at the bottom of the hill. That area also we find. The bottom part of the western Ghats we find red and yellow soil. Then these soils develop a reddish color due to diffusion of iron in crystalline and metamorphic rocks. So why this soil is getting red in color? Because the iron contents are more in this soil. Iron, when it is getting rusty, it becomes reddish or yellowish. So that's why this soil is having red color or yellow color, because the content of iron is more in these rocks. And it looks yellow when it occurs in a hydrated form. So it may be red, and if it is getting hydrated means getting wet with water. So when there is rain or something, the soil is wet, and that time the soil will look yellow. Actually it is the same soil. When it is not wet, it will look like red color, and when it is wet, it will turn to be like yellow in color. So that is a two type of soil, or same type of soil, red and yellow, and it is mainly taking place because of the mixture of iron content. That's why it looks red in color, and when it is wet, it will become like yellow color. Now let's see another type of soil, that is a laterite soil. Laterite soil. Let's see what is laterite soil. So laterite soil has been derived from the Latin word later, which means brick. So in Latin there's a word called later, and the meaning is brick. The brick. The laterite soil develops in areas with high temperature and heavy rainfall. So the places where there is very high temperature and heavy rainfall, we will find laterite soil. So the requirement for the formation of laterite soil is high temperature and heavy rainfall. This is a result of intense leaching due to heavy rain. So when there is heavy rainfall, there will be heavy action by this water. Water will be flowing with high speed. So that is the reason of the formation of this soil. So humus content of the soil is low because most of the microorganisms, particularly the decomposers like bacteria, get destroyed due to high temperature. So when we are telling about soil, we found on top layer of the soil of the earth, we call it humus. We find a lot of microorganisms, small creatures like worms, ants, all those things we will find there, and they are the one making the top layer of the earth more fertile. So here in this laterite soil, we will not find humus. What could be the reason? Because the temperature is very high, and these small creatures, they cannot survive. They all just die away. So because of that, we don't find humus there. Always the place will be dry. There is no humus. So what are the small creatures that we find in this humus? It is bacteria or small organisms, small worms, earthworms, and small ants, worms, and so on. All these die away because the temperature is very high. Laterite soils are suitable for cultivation with adequate doses of manures and fertilizers. So because of this top layer is always washed away because of the rainwater, still we can do this cultivation in this laterite soil provided we give enough fertilizers, we give enough manures. If you don't give additional manure or additional fertilizer, then it is not going to be successful. The soil is not very fertile, and if you give some additional fertilizers, then cultivation is possible. And these soils are mainly found in Karnataka, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Madhya Pradesh, Pradesh and the hilly areas of Odisha and Assam. So these are the places where we find this laterite soil in Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Madhya Pradesh. So all these places are hot places. The temperature is high. At the same time, rainfall also is there. So the laterite soil is found in these states. After adopting appropriate soil conservation techniques, particularly in the hilly areas of Karnataka, Kerala and Tamil Nadu, this soil is very useful for growing tea and coffee. So, the places, especially in Kerala, Karnataka and Tamil Nadu, if you do proper care for the soil, that means providing additional fertilizers, additional manure and so on, and if you take your proper conservation measures, you should not allow the top layer of the soil to be washed away, but you must plant trees and protect the soil and provide additional manure, then we can make use this land for cultivation of tea and coffee. It is very good for growing tea and coffee in this soil. And red laterite soils in Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh and Kerala are more suitable for crops like cashew nut. So this red laterite soil, that is very suitable for cultivating cashew trees, cashew nuts. So that is also very important. So what are the main crops growing in this laterite soil? Mostly it is suitable for coffee and tea. And if it is a red laterite soil, then it is very suitable for the growth of cashew nut trees as well. So that is another type of trees that we have come across. Then again there are few more types of soils are there, and we shall see them in the next class. For today we shall wind up and study nicely. The different names are there and where these soils are found. All these things we need to keep in mind. So don't get confused, but read several times and underline the important things and so on. Then slowly it will remain, it will stick to your mind. So don't just take it easy, but work hard, read nicely several times and read with full concentration. Then it will help you to remember and recollect the names. So thank you for listening. Have a nice day. Bye.